Hello and howdy there, folks. The other day I saw Premium Rush and I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 7. It's a new film from writer-director David Koepp. I'm not sure how you say his name. It's K-O-E-P-P. I've always kind of imagined the O was silent, but it could be Koepp or Kopp or... Anyway, I just say Koepp, David Koepp. He's primarily known as a writer. He's, Steven Spielberg's go-to writer. He wrote the first 2 Jurassic Park films, did Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, War of the Worlds, several other films. Again, he's got like, almost 30 screenplays to his credit. And only a handful of films he does direct, mostly like, not like horror, but kind of like thriller, psychological thriller. He did Stir of Echoes. Did he do, well now I can't remember, the Johnny Depp movie, Secret Window. He did that. Anyway. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to write. And this was directed by David Koepp, co-written by David Koepp, along with someone else. I kind of got the feeling that someone else was like the bike courier. That this is his kind of story, his life, and David Koepp just kind of focused it and helped him tell it. At least that's what I tell myself. I really enjoyed it. It's about competitive bike couriers paid, to take messages from point A to point B and do it as quickly as possible. Much faster than the mail, of course, and if it can't be emailed, you have to rely on them. And it does a really good job of depicting that life. It's basically told in real time, kind of. The movie is 90 minutes long. It's an hour and a half. And the story it tells, again, is roughly an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. At first glimpse, I thought it was going to be a movie in real time. And it kind of held to that for a while, but then it starts to leap around a bit. Where it just kind of loses that focus, but it was still, honed nonetheless. So, a bike courier picks up a package. He's suddenly confronted by an unsavory character demanding that he give him the package. He says, well, once the package is in my possession, I can't give it up, that's my job. And so leads a hour and a half chase through New York City on bikes and cars and whatever. It's basically an hour and a half of go. But with some stops in there for story. So that's pretty much it. Him just trying to get that package delivered and find out what the hell he has. Whatever. It gets a little more convoluted, but that's, basically it. Stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Robin, Michael Shannon. Those are the 2 big guys. Everyone else kind of plays a minor role, and I'm not sure of their names. I'm not sure of the female lead, what her name is. I know I recognize her, I think primarily from television, but I did recognize her. Also, Asif Manvi from The Daily Show is here, and he's playing the same role that he always does. I don't know how he does it, other than the fact that whenever he's in movies, he's the same guy. And that's, the dispatcher. If you're going out for a role as dispatcher in a movie, there's no point in even trying because you've already lost the role to Asif Manvi. He just plays that role. Why? I don't know. I think he can do, other stuff, but I don't know. He's got a niche, and man, he's filling it. I'm trying to remember who else is in it. It doesn't matter. I mean, the star of the show here is Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon. They're the good guy and the bad guy, respectively. Joseph Gordon-Levitt does a good job. He doesn't have to get too emotional. I mean, he pretty much just has to stay with a certain level of intensity. Trying to figure out this mystery, that what is he carrying, what does it mean. He just, I guess he has to be romantic at some points, but again, doesn't have to do any really heavy lifting. That's left to Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon totally steals the show here. He's a phenomenal actor. He's one of our rising great actors, I believe. He's always great. He's always great. He's always intense, and he's always usually like super creepy, weird. Here it's like we see a new side to him that's just kind of like gleefully manic. Usually, when I think of Michael Shannon, I think of two performances. One, namely, the first is what I would call his breakthrough role, is in Bug, the William Friedkin film. He's amazing in Bug, and as well as Take Shelter, the same kind of character. But where I feel that those characters kind of start out as normal, as normal as you could get with Michael Shannon. I mean, there's still this air of creepiness and sliminess somewhat, but as those films build, he gets more crazy. He builds to something, and by the end is rip roaring insane. Here, he's just the bad guy, and he doesn't have any. In Bug and in Take Shelter, it's like argued that he has mental diseases, that he's portraying, psychosis, schizophrenia, very well. Here, he's just a sociopath, psychopath, someone who delights in causing pain and misery, and he does a fantastic job of it. He's just, again, gleefully manic throughout the entire picture. He's always going crazy. His face is always in motion. He's always doing something that you want to watch. When he is on the screen, you can't help but just stare right at him. He's just great. I can't wait to see the movie again, because I can't wait to see Michael Shannon again. I think it's a new kind of performance from him. We haven't really seen him break out this much. Hold on just one second. Yo. All right, on my way. He was really great, and I think we'll see a lot more from him. The only reason I'm not giving this higher than a 7, just because it was very, straightforward. It's a bike chase movie. You get to see a lot of crazy bike action. And there's not really much more. The story is kind of thin, but it doesn't need to be thick. I thought it was almost insensitive, not really, and I'm certainly not going to say racist, but they just subjugate an entire race of people, those being Asians, into stereotypes. There's the whole Asian theme here, whole separate Asian cast and storyline going on here, the Chinese in particular, and it's just all stereotypes. I mean, there's nothing. And they're all just caricatures of stereotypes. Again, it was just almost like they weren't even trying. It was just if you've ever seen an Asian stereotype in a movie, then this just collects them all. And it's just okay. It didn't show much heart or intelligence doing that, I thought. But all the acting is really good. It's very well directed, very smooth. Again, it's 90 minutes. It felt shorter, just very honed. All the performances very good. Looked good. I mean, I felt like I was in New York City. It was nice to go back there. And some cheese, you know, it got a little cheesy here and there. Maybe almost to the point of camp sometimes, where you could tell that they were trying to be a little cheesy. But that kind of made me like it. And again, this is a genre picture. I mean, this is a movie for a particular set of people. And if you don't, I mean, obviously not many people have seen it. It's not made any money at all. It only spent 1 week in the top 10, and I only think it made it to number 6. So it didn't make any money. So, and it's already out of the top 10. And so not many people are going to see the movie. And, you know, if you're a biker and, you know, biking is your life, you're going to love the movie. And you're not going to, you know, you're going to enjoy that cheesiness. I enjoyed some of it to a point. But I really enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. All the acting was great, well directed, well shot. Again, the story, thin, but, you know, again, it gives you a peek into a world that you're not going to inhabit unless you're insane and incredibly physically fit. So that's nice. And again, the whole the whole Asian stuff is, again, just almost borderline insensitive. They could have used, you know, a lot more, I don't know, made any of the characters real, you know, instead of just the stereotypes that you've seen in every movie. And Michael Shannon, you know, I'm not going to see this in the theater again, but I'll definitely rent it when it comes out, and it will be to watch Michael Shannon. And I think this is kind of a breakthrough role for him. Even more so, I think this just shows that he can carry a film as the bad guy. And I guess we'll see that put to the test next summer's Man of Steel. But I don't know. I was really pumped by his performance. I thought he was excellent. So there you go. That's Premium Rush, and it's a solid 7 and a fun time at the movies. Thank you very much.